What's going on, guys? Another episode, Social OutKasted. Of course, if you're new to the channel, please make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Now, we've covered pretty much, a couple episodes so far. We talked about the intro, of course, talking about dreams. Got to know in depth about, what it was like growing up for me, talking about football, my dreams there. The first episode. The second episode talked to you about my experiences dealing with the grade A, of course, marijuana. Now, this episode is going to be a little bit interesting, of course. Going to take a little bit of a dive into the love. So, reason why I thought I'd do this video, I was just watching Love Island. A lot of people might crap on to me for this because I remember I was crapping on a lot of people watching that last season. And to be honest with you, it was just on the TV, I was just watching it, and there's a particular character on there that looks like a fucking idiot. So I thought, why don't I make a video about my love life? Now, of course, it hasn't really been great, being honest, but there's one thing that, I will say, which is kind of weird. Now, I'll take you all the way back. Listen, I've had girlfriends, I've been in relationships, etc. Now, when I was younger, I always had a crush on someone. And to be honest with you, till this day, I still have a crush on this person. They know, you know what I mean? We spoke, etc. But to be honest with you, I'm thinking to myself, okay, what do we do now? Now, all we can do is live our lives and take things one step at a time. Now, before we get into that, of course, I'll give you a little bit of a background check. Not an actual individual, but personally my relationship status. Now, times where, I haven't really been sat down, spoke to about relationships and, how to manage them and etc. Do you know what I mean? Of course, the whole cheating stuff and etc. Like, listen, people cheat, etc. That's just what happens when you're younger, or even now, people just cheat on people. Like, I don't agree with cheating, but it happens. Do you know what I'm saying? But when it comes down to knowing what you want, that's another thing. Now, for me, for a long, long time, like I said, I had a crush on this person from probably was about 14, probably like that, 14, 15. The strangest thing is, like, I just didn't have the balls to fucking let her know back then, because at that time they were involved in a relationship. So as you do, you kind of move on, venture elsewhere, meet other women, date, fuck, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's just generally what happens, all right? Now, of course, me and this person have spoken, seen each other since, etc. We have a decent relationship in terms of conversation, been out a few times, we spoke, etc. But the one thing that I've always found myself doing is repeating the same mistakes. And what I like about this girl mostly is the fact that from every other woman I've dated, it's the fact that she's seen the mistakes that I've made from the past relationships. Not necessarily gone in depth from telling her certain things, because some things are just not meant to be known and some things aren't meant to be said. She hasn't really told me about her past relationships. I couldn't give a shit, if I'm quite honest with you. I'm only concerned about what's happening later between me and her. If it happens, it happens. If it don't, it don't. So, one thing, like I said, is rushing. Now, my thing is, when I was younger, I've always wanted everything then, there, and there. Like, I hate waiting for stuff. Very, very impatient. And I mean, it's always been like this from when I was a kid. I've always wanted stuff here, now, ready for me. Do you know what I'm saying? But you have to work for things. This was one of the things I was never really spoken to about. But that's fine. You work things out for yourself. And like I said, I'm not blaming anyone. You could only just a lack of self-acknowledgement, self-awareness. Certain things you just have to know within time. Certain things you learn. But me being me, sometimes, hey, I just avoid the blatant, obvious answers and just try to always find the alternatives. Now, again, going back to the points of where I said I'm grateful because she stops me. She stops me on certain things. And I'm grateful for that because to me, that shows me how serious you are. And what I mean by that is, it shows me like, listen, talk to me, slow down, don't rush, all right? We've got plenty of time to see where this goes. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Because I've been in relationships where I've been flat on my face, and I've taken the ball, I've taken my eye off the ball, let's be real, and the ball in terms of what I'm trying to achieve, the goals I'm trying to do, you know what I mean? And everything with that, because I put so much focus on the girl. And listen, again, because of my lack of understanding and acknowledgement, etc. over the years, it's been a bad pattern. Now, obviously, as you get older, you start to reflect on certain things. You think, why did things work out, etc. Like, you sit down, you actually think. Some people don't. Some people just go on and continue. I've done it myself. I remember I was in a long-term relationship once when I was about 17 to 18. And to be honest, I ended up dating somebody else. And that was a bad heartbreak for me. And the craziest thing is, I ended up messing them up. And that was bad because I didn't know where my head was at. I didn't have time to sit down, mature, learn about the wrongs I was going through, why this person wasn't right for me, etc., etc., etc. And it only took me a few years to really recover from that. And then in that space of time, I ended up seeing the girl that I had probably the biggest crush on when I was 14, 15 years old. Do you know what I mean? And it's crazy because was it nostalgia? What were the answers? What kept dragging me back to this specific woman? I had no clue. But within the years, I've got to know her, I sat down, chat to her, we've been out, we spoke, etc. Right? The key things, we are so similar. And it's so crazy. Like, interests, just hearing each other's stories individually, what we talked about, we're so similar. It's unreal. But the key things that get me, I don't know what it is. I really do not know. Even now, I can't give you no answers. But all I know is the way she carries herself is clearing up to me day by day. The way she carries herself, how mature she is. You can sit down and have a proper conversation with her. And the scariest thing, and I remember someone told me this once, the person you end up either marrying or being with have small elements of your parents to them. And it's so weird and effed up as it may sound. No, I'm not basically saying you're dating your parents, but it's the characteristics, certain characteristics which they carry. I don't know if that's true. I don't know. But I do see some characteristics similar to my mother with her. And it does scare me a little bit because it's like, am I supposed to take that saying with any substance or truth to it? Because to me, I just took it subjectively. I kind of thought, okay, if that's what they say. But with a lot of people that I know, and I've asked this question, and even they're still with their partners today, I've asked them, do you see any similarities between, when I'm talking to the boys, do you see any similarities with your girl to your mum? Some say yes, and the percentage is quite high. Only a few have said no, but I don't know if they discovered that or it's just generally a no. I don't know. A few female friends I spoke to, they said they see some similarities to their dad with their boyfriends, but again, this is all a subjective thing. So I don't know how to look at that. I really don't know. But again, what I'm grateful for is the fact that I could talk to her about anything. The same way I could go and talk to my mother about anything. It's as simple as that. They'll give me the harsh reality, the harsh truth, whether I like it or not. And they will call me out on things. And listen, sometimes you need to get put back in your place if you feel like, you know, you're getting a bit too carried away about something, or, you know, you don't really know what you're saying, because sometimes you can say things on autopilot and you're not really thinking how it's going to sound or anything. And that even reminds me, I remember, terrible. I'll give you a situation. So we were walking home, well, not my house. I was walking our home a few weeks ago, and I must have just, sometimes I just say the most obscure things sometimes to just generally try to be funny. And this is just a problem I have. I know that. And it's a bad problem because I always use it in like the wrong time or anything. And I must have just said something in terms of, oh, so I got to be away from the area. And the way they took that, oh man, listen, I like to make jokes, but the look on their face was like, that was not a joke. And I just got it. I just got an earful for it. And, oh, you always do this. And like, again, you're picking out things that I clearly haven't noticed. Every time I try and make a funny joke, or it's just really not funny, maybe funny to me, but, you know, you're just saying, like, listen, stop making them jokes. It's not funny, you know. And listen, they might take things and see a completely different angle. And the more I say things about this, I actually think of sitting down and having conversations with my mother, because some context, some words I say to my mum, she always thinks left. And it turns into an argument, and it's just like, jeez Louise. Too much similarities there. It's crazy. It's crazy. I'm really starting to believe this mythology about the person you fall for, they have similarities to your parents, etc. I don't know how to take that. Guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section if you think that is true or not. I don't know. But it's subjective. Take it how you want to take it. Like I just said, there's a few things I see that, you know, remind me of my mother, for crying out loud. But again, I'm thinking about this person. But going back to development, you know, and I've known her for a very long time. And listen, she knows how I feel about her. But, you know, and I know how she feels. But again, it's what's going to happen next. Now, for me, because of my past relationships and my past experiences, and listen, me and her get on really well, I'm just intrigued to see how this goes, if it goes anywhere. Because again, like I said earlier, the last thing you want to do is keep holding on to things and then it just doesn't materialize into anything. Then you're going to feel crushed. Then you're going to feel like crap because you put your whole hopes into something that might not be guaranteed. Do you know what I'm saying? So the best thing is to just let things ride out. My grandmother always used to tell me, take time. Let things grow. Let nature do its thing. Let God do his thing. All right? I ain't forcing nothing. Sometimes I felt like I have generally because I let my emotions get the better of me. That's because I've been an emotional person and I'm in that transition of sorting it out. That's what it's about. So, you know, my messages to anyone that's watching this video that does have a little bit of trouble of, you know, talking to their crush or their partner or whatever about certain things, just relax, be calm, and just say it how it is. Do you know what I mean? But again, just don't talk shit. It's as simple as that. Just don't talk shit. Be straight up, be honest, listen to them. Especially if you listen to them, you'll learn a lot, because it's hard for some people to see what they see. Like for me, I'm looking at myself in the camera. Do you know what I mean? There might be something that the viewers see that I generally don't see, that you guys can nitpick and criticize or put in the comment section. Do you know what I mean? Be like, oh, well, you might think you sound loud, but listen, you're quiet. You might have to turn the volume up a little bit. Do you know what I mean? So anything. So, you know, my thing is just be open, just be honest. And if things work out, things work out. If it don't, it don't. Now, that's all I really got, guys. So, you know, she's probably watching this video. So it is what it is. I ain't bait you up or whatnot, but I'm sure you figured it out. You know what's up. But again, like I said, it's just about being strong within yourself, being confident within yourself, and just believing if it's going to work out or not. Cool. Just let it play out, man. Just let it ride out. But yeah, guys, that's it. I'm going to wrap this up here, and there'll be more videos to come on the channel. Please make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Make sure you check out Ryan Williams AFC. Of course, more Arsenal content coming up this week. Of course, there is a 2-week gap, so not much content will be out, of course, but obviously check out the Burnley match reaction, of course, on that channel. And of course, stick around here for more videos and more content. Peace.